Assalamu alaikum. This is the final presentation for the Advanced English. My name is Abdullah Ismail, ID number 102, section number 3. The reason for which I am here today is going to be hard. That is education. Well, the word education seems to be complex to some of you, but it simply means the right to learn. By this presentation, we are going to see what is the effect of education on nations. And I would really ask, is the right to learn should be given to every child? Is the age of children should be taken in consideration when we are talking about education? Is education really help us to reduce poverty, crime, and violence? By this presentation, we are going to see how the education plays a great and major role in our personal growth. In this presentation, we are going to discuss the following parts: the importance of education, 7 reasons why education is important, impact of education on children, impact of education on society and community growth, influence of education on violence and crime. So, what is the importance of education in our life? If we look at this picture, we can see that education is like a bridge between home and wider society, where the wider society has the universalistic standards that everyone lives by the same rule, and particularistic standards where specific things done. So if we look at this picture, we can believe that and we can understand that education is necessary to everyone. Education can improve our personal skills. Education can empower us. Education can improve our knowledge and our social state. So it looks like the process to achieve and gain the knowledge, the values, the skills, as well as the moral habits. These are 7 reasons why education is important. So, education is powerful. Education is the first step to cross-cultural understanding. And if we look at our schools, the geography and the history and the social studies, these specific and these standard topics are taught in our schools across all the world. Education builds confidence. Education combats poverty. Education promotes healthy lifestyle. Education fosters decision-making skills and critical thinking. Education contributes to the development of interpersonal skills. So, the impact of education in children. In this part, I want to talk especially and specifically about the early stage of education. Before the age of 8 years and the 5 years, or at that or around that period, the child goes through the most rapid phase of change and the most rapid phase of growth. Their brains develop more faster than at any time of at other time of their lives. So, with the help of education, the foundation of their social skills and their self-esteem and their perception of the world, all this can be established through the education. The impact of education on society and community growth. In this part, we need to understand and really answer this question: what is the role of education on society? As I said a while ago, the education is powerful. So, the education empower people. People that are not educated, they are not empowered. Then the society will not grow. And I believe that education, I believe that every country and every government is eager to educate his people because they understand that and they know that the society and community cannot grow if it doesn't have skills, if it doesn't have education, if it doesn't have knowledge. The influence of education on violence and crime. Also here we have a questions that we need to understand and we need to answer. Is the lack of education leads to violence and crime? Here I found some researches that talk and link the education to the violence and crime. The first says that approximately 70% of states' prisons inmates did not complete the high school. Also, about 47% of drug offenders do not have a high school or diploma degree. Also, if we look at this chart, we can see the link between the average number of crimes to the achieved education, to the different stages of education. We can see that the more education or the high level of education completed, the lower the average number of crimes. So through these researches, we can see and we can understand the influence of, as I said a while ago, the influence of education on violence and crime. By the end, I would say that education or the education or the high level of education, the more of the knowledge that we have in our fingerprints, the more and the higher opportunities that we have to know what other lives like.